everyone, it's Misty from the Joyful Elf. Welcome back to another card making video. So it's Thursday night and I asked on my Facebook page what kind of card you guys want to see, and Cynthia mentioned that she would like to see a card from a nice Cuppa stamp set, and I realized that I've used this thing probably 1,000 times and I haven't actually done a video. So I'm going to do that today, and I'm going to be using my very well loved pack of Have a Cuppa Designer Series paper. This is actually 2 packs. I think I mentioned that this is probably one of my favorite paper pads that we've had in a little while, because I love the colors in it, and we're going to be using some scraps today. And I store my paper pads in these this is just a quart Ziploc bag that you can get at Walmart or whatever. It's actually the Walmart brand, Dollar Tree, wherever, because I like it fits, number one, and I can keep all my scraps together. So when I get a bunch of scraps, I can make a card like this, and that's what we're going to use today. We're going to be using these just random scraps of paper to make a really cute card. So I'm going to be using the solid cup and the lemon or lime or orange slice, depending on what color you want it to be. So let me bring in my piece of paper. I actually have 2 pieces of paper. This is a piece of Whisper White that measures 3.5 by 3.5, and I'm going to bring in a stamp pad. This is just a foam mat from the the craft store. I'm going to bring in this old, piece of paper. This is actually my second stamp set. I had the stamp set before, and I actually ripped this stamp in half. And if I can find the picture, I will post it. Oh, excuse me. I will post it at the end, but I just kind of pushed it back together and it stamped, and you couldn't even tell that I had ripped my stamp. And it was just me being careless and pulling things off. But so these are really high quality photopolymer, let me tell you. They can survive Misty, they can survive anything. So I have the cup mounted on acrylic block, and I want to stamp it kind of in the middle. You guys may hear Roxy. She didn't get into the she didn't get into the room before I started filming. So there you go. Just like that. Put that to the side. Now I'm going to bring in a separate piece for our lemon wedge, and there are matching framelits for this, but I want to keep it kind of simple today. Plus, I'm trying to clean. I'm trying to clean my desk off. That's one of the reasons why I'm making this card the way I am. So I'm gonna cut this out. You can bundle with the matching, I can't remember if they're called thinlit or framelits with this one, and save $15. So cute. You get like a little teapot. There's a fork and a spoon. They're really stinking cute. Right. This is actually the product that I used in Jolly Mail. So I'm not going to stamp any kind of sentiment, but there's you are terrific, world's best mother. You can put there's always time for tea, whatever one you want to use, and this is what it looks like on the back. So do it just like that. Maybe I will stamp a sentiment. Like, maybe. I'm going to put the You Are Terrific. Totes. You are totes terrific. She's so mistreated. There we go. It's a little crooked, but it'll be all right. Okay, so let's bring in all of our layers. This is gonna lay out just like that. This is actually the one from the apple of my eye. That's kind of cute. Okay, so now let's bring in our strips of pattern paper. I'm going to take my snail and I'm just going to start laying them down just like that. Make sure I'm in frame. Oops. Oops. Okay, just like that. And you can do this part with your paper trimmer. I'm just going to use some scissors to trim out. So we have something just like that, kind of like a patchwork. Now you could save these little tiny shards of paper if you are that type of person, but I am not that type of person. So let me get those in recycling. So I have a thick piece of Whisper White, cut at 4/4, scored at 5.5. Somebody asked me if this adds bulk to the card. It doesn't necessarily add bulk, but it does add, it's a little bit stronger. So here's our regular Whisper White, and then here's our thick. So it makes a much sturdier card base. So when I'm doing card bases, you're almost always gonna see me use the thick Whisper White. If I'm doing a card layer, I'm gonna be using our regular Whisper White, as demonstrated here with a really crooked. It's so crooked, Misty. Get it together. Is that any better? A little. Okay, so I have a piece of Bermuda Bay that measures 4 by 5 1/4. This measures 3 3/4 by 4. No. 3 3/4 by 5. And then this piece, I'm going to cut it down a little bit. I thought it was too big. Let me cut this down a little bit. So right now this is 3 3/4. 3 3/4. Let's do 3 1/2. Make sure I get that squared off. 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. And then we'll do this. Three 3/8. This didn't start out square. That's the problem. Sheesh, Misty. What the heck? That's the problem. Oh my word. It was supposed to be 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. Clearly it was not. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to attach it. So it's even. Okay, so it's even, and then I'm just going to trim off a little bit, like that. There we go. See, easy peasy. Easy peasy, lemon squeezy. Now, I would like to pop this up with some dimensional adhesives, but Lord knows where they are. So let me see. I have one just right here. There's some. I knew I had some somewhere. Again, these are the ones from Paper Pumpkin. Save everything. Nothing goes to waste. Yeah, you see that wink, Estella. I know you do. We're going to add some glimmer. Honey, we're going to add some glimmer to this. I hear Roxy Kitty outside. So we'll do it just like that. And then I'm going to take my little Wink of Stella. And as you can see, it will move the ink. I don't mind. But if you don't want it to look like that, just be careful. Okay guys, there we go. Quick and simple card, minus the card surgery. So yeah, as always, I will link everything in the description box below. Let me move this out of the way. If you make something similar, make sure you tag me on Instagram at @thejollyfidelf. I'd love to see what you create. Thanks so much for joining me. If you're interested in the posh stuff from yesterday's video, make sure you shoot me an email. I'll see you tomorrow for another pockets. I was like, what is it called? Another Pocket Saturday. Bye for now.